If you feel like you're sometimes lacking in strength for carrying out daily tasks, then follow me on this full body muscle training program. Hi everyone, and welcome to Exercise for Health. And today's workout is very different from others that I've done on this channel, as it will be purely strength training focused to stimulate the muscles through slow controlled repetitions against a moderate to heavy resistance. It may not be appropriate for people with a heart, respiratory or neurological condition, and you will need the ability to be able to get up and down from the floor. Also, please note that this training program isn't a one-size-fits-all, so if you're unsure whether it will be suitable for you and your health condition, check with your healthcare professional first before starting. To take part, you will need some exercise equipment, which I'll leave links to in the description below. This includes a pair of dumbbells, and if you have two different weights, then that would be even more beneficial, but not entirely necessary, as we will be using a pre-exhaust technique where the first exercise makes the follow-up one much harder. You will also need a step or bench to lie down on, and possibly a mat for comfort when on the floor. After a short mobility warm-up, the 12 strength exercises will be performed in a superset format, meaning we will be quickly moving from one exercise to the next without much rest, and rather than working opposing muscle groups as in a typical superset, we will be working the same muscle group for both exercises. We will aim for 8 to 10 repetitions for each set, and your muscles should be struggling within this rep range by the second superset, and on your completion, you'll have done a balanced full body muscle workout. We will then finish the program with some gentle relaxed stretches, so get yourself ready and your equipment and let's get started. Right, let's begin with some mobility exercises as a warm-up, and this will then prepare your muscles ready for the strength training that's going to come later. So find yourself a bit of space. Standing up nice and tall, I want you to do some arm reaches. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to raise one arm up over the head, bend the elbow so it tap your hand on the back, and then the other one goes up. As one goes up overhead, the other one's going to go back behind you, but you keep that one straight. So just nice and relaxed, not doing this too quickly, just so we can start to mobilize the shoulder and the elbow. So each time you take that arm overhead, allow the elbow to just bend at the top. Give yourself a tap on the back because you're worth it, and then bring it back down and take the arm straight back behind you. Good. Okay, next one, still working around the shoulders. I want you to give yourself a hug and then take your arms out to the side with the arms straight. So you're going to feel a bit of a stretch here and then round the shoulders off so you can stretch the muscles a little bit around the middle of the back. So again, nice and relaxed. Try and keep your arms about the same height as your shoulders as you take them from the front to the back. Good. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So the next one is we're going to keep the arms as straight as you can, and we're going to make circles, as big circles as you can, as you bring the arms around, coming forwards. So a big movement. If you find this hurts the shoulders too much, then just do it, but keep the elbows bent as you come round. But if you can keep your arms straight, it'll just generate a bit more of a stretch. Good. Okay, let's do exactly the same thing, but now we're going to take the arms backwards. So see how close you can get your arms to brush past your ears before you bring them back round underneath and back up again. Good. Let's do one more. Okay, right, let's move down to the hips now. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab hold of one knee, bring it to the chest, and then switch. So again, it's quite a dynamic movement. You're not going to hold the stretch for too long. We're just going to try and pull the knee up and then switch over. So we're trying to get the hip to bend as much as possible. Get the knee up as close as you can to your chest before you switch. Good, let's just do a couple more. Okay, and the last one we're going to do is to rotate the spine and also get a bit of a stretch across the hip. So I want you to take a step back with one leg, and then you're going to rotate the spine the opposite way to get a bit of a stretch on the front of the hip. Step forwards and then do the same on the opposite side. So it's just a step back, not going too far back. It's not a lunge or anything like that. Just taking a step back so we can generate more of a stretch on the front of the hip. Keep the hips pushed forwards as you rotate the shoulders. Good. Let's do a couple more. Brilliant. Okay, right, now we've warmed up, we're going to go into the strength exercises, and the first superset we're going to do is for the shoulders. So you're going to need your dumbbells now, and the two exercises we're going to do starts with, first one is going to be a dumbbell side raise. So we're going to raise the arms out to the side to get to shoulder height and then bringing them back down. As soon as we've completed the 10th rep, we're going to aim for 10 reps on the first set. I then want you to go to this position, and we're then going to perform a shoulder press movement. Okay, so you're literally going to go from one to the next without any rest. Then after you've done the superset, I'll give you about 20 to 30 seconds rest, and then we'll do a second superset of the same two exercises. So to set yourself up for the side raises, have 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, so your feet are slightly staggered. Bend the front knee just a little bit, so you angles your weight forwards. Keep the back leg relatively straight, both feet flat on the floor. Lean the body forwards in line with the back leg, and then from there, start off with the shoulder blades down and back, a slight bend in the elbows, and the movement from there then is we're going to raise the arms up to the side till they get to shoulder height, and then bring them back down. As soon as they get close to the hips, we'll then start the movement again. So set yourself up ready, shoulders down and back, deep breath in, and then breathe out as you lift. That's 1, deep breath in, 2, 3. So really slow and controlled movement with these. 4. This is an isolated exercise, so we're just working around the shoulder joint. 5. So you should be able to feel this in the muscles around the shoulders. That's 6. So we're going to aim for 4 more. 7. If you're starting to fatigue already and you've had enough, you can stop. 8. See if we can get 2 more in. 9. Last one. 10. So now we're going to immediately go into the shoulder press. So bring the dumbbells up in front of the shoulders. Let your elbows go out to the side slightly, but not right the way back. So keep them slightly offset further forwards. And then the movement then is we're going to press the weights up above the head. Again, we're going to go for 10 reps. So deep breath in and then breathe out as you push. That's 1. That's 2. So this is a compound movement now where shoulders and elbows are moving. 3. But because we've pre-exhausted it with the side raise, your shoulder muscles are going to really start to feel it. 5. I can feel that now in the shoulders. 6. 7. See if you can get 3 more. 8. Last 2. 9. 1 more. And 10. Good, right, relax the arms off. Just have a rest for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then we're going to repeat those same 2 exercises again for a second superset. Now, if you found that was hurting your shoulders quite a lot, more the joint rather than the muscle, particularly when you do the pressing movement, if you feel that you need to, you can have your elbows closer to the front. So you end up doing it more as a front press this way. That'll take a bit of pressure off the shoulder joint. So if you found that hurt the joint too much, just bring the elbows further forwards rather than trying to take them out to the side. Okay, so second superset. Set yourself up ready for the side raises first. Okay, get ready, deep breath in and breathe out as you lift. 1. Now, because we've already partly exhausted the muscles already, 2 with 1 set. We'll just try and go for 8 reps on this second set. 3, still keep the control. 4, 5, keep the rest of the body dead still. Just focus on that shoulder movement. 6, see if you can get 2 more. 7, last one. And 8, good. Straight up into that rack position, ready to do the shoulder press. Ready from there and push. 1, shoulders should be burning. 2, 3, 4, see if we get 4 more, 5, 6, last 2, 7, 1 more, and 8. Good. Right, just drop the dumbbells for a sec, have a rest, and while you have a rest, I'll talk you through the next superset exercises, which is where you're going to need your step or your bench. So this is where we're going to lie down. We're going to work on the chest muscles. We're going to start with a dumbbell fly, and then we're going to follow up with a dumbbell chest press. So just to show you. So you need to make sure that you sat on the end of your step or bench. When you've got the dumbbells, keep them close to the body as you lower back down to get yourself in the lead down position. Make sure you've got your feet flat on the floor, and that should support your lower back a little bit. Start off with the arms pretty much straight, and really you want the palms, they don't have to be completely facing each other, but at the same time they don't have to be facing forwards towards your knees. Have them on a slight angle. For the dumbbell fly, you're going to keep a slight bend in the elbow, very slight at the top, and the movement then is to let the arms go out to the side. As they lower, the weight will feel heavier, so let the elbows bend a bit more at the bottom. Keep them in line with the chest, so don't take them too far back behind you, and then raise them back up until they get to the top. When you get to the top, you just need your arms to be about the same width as your shoulders, so you don't have to actually bring the dumbbells together as such. It won't make any difference on the pecs. So keep them about the same width as your shoulders at the top, and then start the motion again. Try and retract your shoulder blades back throughout the movement, and that will just help you then isolate the muscles across the chest. Once we've done that one, that's going to be our isolated exercise. We're then going to go into the chest press. So this is where we will turn the palms so the palms are facing towards your feet. And then the movement is then allowing the elbows to drop down towards the floor. Fist should be about the same line as your chest, and then push back up again until your arms are straight. Okay, so that'll be the second exercise, which should be slightly easier. So lie yourself down on your step or your bench. Set yourself up ready. Palms facing inward slightly, very slight bend in the elbows, and then from there, take it out to the side. Let the elbows bend a bit more at the bottom, just go until you feel stretch, and then bring it back to the start. That's 1, 2, 3. So remember, the elbows will bend more at the bottom. Deep breath in and then breathe out. That's 4. Arms pretty much straight at the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more if you can on this first superset. 9, keep the shoulder blades back. And 10. Right, turn the palms to face forwards. Now we're going to press. Dropping the elbows down, push back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be feeling that across the chest now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more if you can, 9, last one, and 10. Good. Drop the dumbbells down, have a rest, sit yourself up. Should have felt that across the chest as you were doing that one. So just give the shoulders a bit of a roll just to loosen them up. So just be careful again, if you feel this one in the shoulder joint as you're lowering back down, just be careful you don't take them too far back behind you, so keep them lower down, that might make it slightly easier. And make sure you do allow the elbow to bend a little bit when you're closer to the bottom, but only go as far as you feel comfortable, because it will feel like the weight's getting heavier as it goes further and further out away from the midline of the body. So just be aware of that. Right, we're going to do one more superset of these 2 exercises. So again, set yourself up ready. Lie yourself down on your step or your bench. Okay, so palms just turn face inwards. Dumbbell fly to start off with. Off we go. Let's go for 8 reps this time. So go down till you feel a bit of a stretch. Back up to the start. That's 1, Breathing in, breathe out as you come up. 2, keep the shoulder blades back. 3, 4, good. 5, 3 more if you can. 6, 7, 1 more. 8, okay, turn the palms to face forwards. Let's go into the chest press. Lowering the elbows down, push back up. 1, 2, slow and controlled. 3, make sure the fists are always over the elbows. 4, 5, 3 more. 6, 7, 1 more. And 8, good. Bring the dumbbells down to the hips so you can sit yourself back up. Good, okay, right. The next one we're gonna do is we're now gonna go on to the middle of the back. So we're hitting the muscles on the middle of the back, the latissimus dorsi muscles. So for this one, we're gonna start off again, we're gonna lie down on your step or on your bench. But I'm only gonna use 1 dumbbell for this one. So the movement from here is, I'm gonna hold the dumbbells so the palms are facing each other. Arms are gonna stay pretty much straight, and the movement is a straight arm pullover. So I'm gonna take the dumbbell over my head, trying to keep the arms relatively straight until you can feel stretch across the middle of the back, and then return back up until the arms are upright. That's gonna be the first exercise. And then we're gonna follow that up with a bent over row. So you're gonna have your feet to shoulder width wide. We're gonna lean the body forward, so hip hinge, pushing the bottom backwards. And then with the arms just starting down in front of the knees, we're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the elbows up, trying to get the dumbbells to come close to the waist, and then lower back down. So we're hitting the muscles across the middle of the back with this compound exercise after the isolated one. So set yourself up. Say the first one, you'll probably only need 1 dumbbell. So lie down on the bench or on the step. Hold on to the dumbbell so it's on top of the chest, palms facing each other. You can use both dumbbells for this if you want to. So if your dumbbells are quite light and you feel you need more resistance, you can hold 1 in each hand. But for this one, it's just easier to hold 1 dumbbell. So from there, you're gonna take the arms back behind you. Go as far as you comfortably can to feel stretch across the muscles in the middle of the back, and then bring it back up to the start. That's 1. So let's go for 10 reps. 2, deep breath in as it goes down. Breathe out as you lift. That's 3. 4. You can see my arms shaking as the muscles are activating. 5. 6. 7. See how much of a stretch you can get at the bottom. 8. 2 more if you can. 9. 1 more. That's 10, okay. Back up to standing. Grab hold of your other dumbbell. So feet are shoulder width wide. Hip hinge forward, so push your bottom right back. Dumbbells just down close to the knees. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together, elbows past the waist, get the dumbbells right up to the ribs, then lower back down. So that's 1. Squeeze those shoulder blades back together first. 2. 3. Really think about the elbow moving as it goes past the waist. 4. So trying to force those elbows up and back behind you. 5. 6. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. Keep the rest of the body still. That's 10. Good. Okay. Have a little rest for a minute. that should have been quite a tough one. So we're going to do a second superset of those 2 exercises. So get yourself ready for the next one. Again, you'll need the 1 dumbbell for the first exercise. Okay, we've had about 20 to 30 seconds rest. So sit yourself down on the end of your step or your bench. Keep hold of your 1 dumbbell. Lie yourself back down. Hold on to the dumbbell so it's in front of the chest. Arms pretty much straight, feet flat on the floor. Pull the tummy in nice and tight. And then let the arms go back behind you till you feel a stretch. And then bring it back up to the top. So that's 1. Just be careful that your lower back doesn't arch anymore, especially when your arms are going back here. That's 2. We want to make sure that your spine stays relatively still throughout the whole movement. 3. So if you find your lower back begins to arch up, just pull your tummy in to try and keep the spine stable. So really tighten up your stomach muscles. That's 4. Let's go for 8 reps. 5. 6. 2 more. 7. Last one. 8. Good. Okay, let's get back up to standing. So back to the bent over row. So feet shoulder width wide. Angle the body forwards, push your bottom right back, and then lift the weights up towards the ribs. That's 1. Really focus on getting those elbows up and back as far as you can. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Keep that lower back still. 7. 1 more if you can. Squeeze it back. 8. Good. Okay. Come back up, have a little rest, and I'll explain the next 2 exercises. Okay, so we've gone from doing the middle back, now we're going to go on to more upper back. So these are hitting now more of your posture muscles across the top of the back. So 2 exercises here. The isolated one is going to be a shoulder shrug. So this is where we start the same sort of position where we did the side raise. So 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. Slight bend in the front knee so you can angle the body forwards, keeping the back leg straight. The arms stay pretty much straight for this one, and the focus is just trying to shrug the shoulders up. So it's thinking about lifting the shoulders up towards the back of your ears and then lower back down. So think like trying to take them up and back and then lower back down, getting as much movement as you can and really feel the stretch so the weights are pulling your arms back down towards the floor. So that'll be the shoulder shrug. We then immediately follow that up with an upright row. So you can have the same foot position or you can stand with your feet side by side if you prefer. But essentially from there then, this is where we do a compound exercise where shoulders and elbows are moving, where we're lifting the weights up, keeping them relatively close to the body. But as you lift them up, think about then bringing them back in towards the chest. It's like you're trying to push the elbows back behind you rather than just continually going up, because you might feel that a bit more in the shoulders if you do it that way. So it's there and then pull into the chest before you lower back down. So those are the 2 exercises. Again, we'll go for 10 reps on this first superset. So set yourself up ready for the shoulder shrug first. So lean the body forwards, but make sure it's in line with the back leg. Let the shoulders drop back down, keeping the arms straight, and then lift the shoulders up towards the back of the ears. That's 1, 2. Just be careful you don't bend the elbow with this one. 3, there's a tendency like you should want to try and lift up higher, so you bend the elbows like this, but keep the arms straight. 5, down, stretch, lift it back up, squeeze. 6, 7, so think about trying to take shoulders to the back of your ears. 8, 2 more. 9, last one. 10, good. Let's go down to upright row. So lift and pull in. 1, elbows out to the side, bring the fists into the chest. 2, 3, 4, breathe out as you lift. 5, 6, 4 more if you can, 7, 8, last 2, 9, 1 more, and 10. Good. Right, just drop the dumbbells for a sec. So give those muscles a little bit of a rest. Give the shoulders a bit of a roll if you need to. So you should have felt that across the top of the back. That's the muscles we're trying to activate. So we're going to go through and do a second superset. We'll go for 8 reps again like we've done with the previous ones. 8 reps for the shoulder shrug, 8 reps for the upright row. Okay, how are you feeling so far? Hopefully not too tired, but you should be really starting to feel the muscles working, certainly as we get through the end of the second superset. Okay, so let's go back to the shoulder shrug. So stagger the feet, slight bend in the front knee, back leg straight, lean the body forwards, arms completely straight, and then from there, lift the shoulders up towards the back of your ears. 1, and then back down and drop. 2, 3, 4, good. Another 4 if you can. 5, 6, 7, last one, and 8. Okay, straight into the upright row. So turn the palms to face you, and then lift the elbows out to the side, and then bring the dumbbells either side of the chest. 1. So think about going up and then in. 2, 3. So keep the fist the same width as your shoulders. 4, 5. Keep it going, another 3 if you can. 6, 7, last one, and 8. Good, right, just relax for a second. Okay, right then. So that's the 4th one done. Obviously they've all been all upper body exercises. We've got 2 more supersets to do. So now we're gonna go to the legs and also to work the core a little bit. So for this next one, you won't actually need any additional weight for this first exercise because we're going to do a seated knees to chest. So, go back a bit. You're going to sit yourself on the end of your step or your bench, and your hands you're going to place behind you because they're going to support you to stay upright. What I want you to do is start off with your legs out straight in front of you, but we're going to lift the feet up off the floor. Bring the knees in as close as you can towards your chest, and then let the legs go out straight, but don't let the feet drop to the floor. So it's kind of like a double action crunch in a way, but we're hitting these muscles on the front of the hip, which is also going to feel it a little bit on the front of the thigh, but we're also working your core at the same time. If you find this particular exercise is really pulling on your back, particularly as your legs go out straight here, there's a lot of activity for these muscles on the front of the hip that are joined to your spine. So as they're really working hard, it might start to aggravate your lower back. So if you have that issue, then rather than letting the legs go out straight, keep them at a slight bend in the knee. You're just going to tap the toes down to the floor and then bring the knees up as close as you can to the chest. So the legs aren't actually going to go out straight. So that's an alternative if you feel it in the lower back. Once we've done the knees to the chest, we're then going to follow that up with a front squat. Now you can do this in one of 2 ways. You can use one dumbbell as a goblet squat. So this is where I'm going to hold the dumbbell this way, really close to the chest, feet a little bit wider than the shoulders width, and then from there you're squatting down and then back up. So that's one option. If you want the additional weight, we'll do it as a front squat. So that's where you hold both dumbbells, keep the weights as close as you can to your shoulders as you're doing the squat. So what we don't want is we don't want the dumbbells to be further away, because as you squat down, that's going to feel like it's pulling you forward. You're going to feel that more on your lower back. So really important to try and keep your body upright and keep the fists as close as you can to your shoulders and the weights close as you can to your shoulders, just to put all the pressure through the legs. So that'll be the follow-up exercise. So you won't need the weights for the first one. Okay, so sit yourself on the end of your step or your bench. Place your hands behind you for support. And then legs out straight in front, raise them off the floor if you can, and then get that concertina effect. Bring the knees into the chest, and then back out into the straights. That's 1. That's 2. So breathe out as you're bringing the knees in, Breathe in as they go out. That's 3, 4. You might feel this in your stomach a little bit. That's 5, but we are hitting these muscles all across the front. 6, 7, 8. 2 more if you can. 9. 1 more. That's 10. Good. Right then, grab your dumbbells, or dumbbell if you're doing it as a goblet squat. So hold them as close as you can to your shoulders, feet slightly wider than the hips width. And then remember, as you squat down, think about trying to keep the body relatively upright, but stick your bottom back and go as low as you can. Ready, deep breath in, going down, and then breathe out as you come up. 1, go as low as you can. 2, make sure your knees don't collapse inwards, so push the knees out as you're going down. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, good. 3 more if you can. 8, you'll be feeling this on the front of the thighs now. 9, 1 more. Knees out. And 10, good. Right, drop the dumbbells. Quick rest, then we're going to do a second superset of those same 2 exercises. Whew, okay, so set yourself up ready for the next superset. Make sure you sit on the end of your step or your bench. Put your hands behind you for support. Legs out straight. Let's go for 8 reps on each one for this one. Ready? Off you go. So knees in, nice and tight, back out straight. 1, 2, 3, that's 4, 5, 6, should be feeling a lot in the front of your hips. 7, 1 more. That's 8. Good. Right. Straight back into the squat. So grab your hand weights. Keep the weights as close as you can to your body. Ready? And then dropping down. And then push back up. That's 1. Let's go for 8 reps. That's 2. Slowly on the way down. Control it. 3. Keep those knees out nice and wide. 4, so they're not collapsing inwards. 5, should be feeling that in the quads on the front of the thighs. 6, 2 more if you can. 7, last one. And that's 8. Good. Right, drop the dumbbells down. Okay, right, we have a little rest. Let me talk you through the final exercise. So again, we're working on legs and core, but whereas that one was more of an emphasis on the muscles on the front, now we're going to be working more of the muscles on the back. So, this is where you're going to need your mat, because we are going to go right down to the floor, and you'll also need 1 dumbbell for the first exercise, because we're going to do a glute bridge, but we're going to have the weight resting on the hips. So the movement from there, I'm going to have my feet flat on the floor, so the feet are about hips width wide. And then I've just got hold of the weight on resting on the front of the hips. I'm going to drive my feet into the floor and then lift the hips up until I can get an alignment from knee to hip to shoulder. So that's all be in a straight line. But this weight is obviously acting here to make these muscles work that much harder, and then lower back down. So it's a dumbbell glute bridge. So we're going to do 10 of those. And then to follow up, you'll need both dumbbells, because we're going to do a Romanian deadlift. So feet are shoulder width wide, the dumbbells starting just in front of your hips on the top of the thighs, and the movement is like a hip hinge. So you're going to push your bottom backwards as far as you can. The knees will then begin to bend a little bit more, but keep the back flat, so don't end up doing this. Try and keep the head and the chest up, and then you come back up to a standing position. So you're going to feel this a lot in your hamstrings and your glutes on the back of the legs. Right, so you only just need one dumbbell for the first one. So lie yourself down on the floor. Feet about hips width wide. Rest the dumbbell down on the hips. And then from there, when you're ready, you're going to push the feet into the floor and then drive the hips up as high as you can. Ready? Off you go. So lift the hips up as high as you can, squeeze at the top and lower back down. So that's 1. That's 2. As you begin to push from the floor, push the lower back down into the floor before you lift the hips up. That's 3, and that will just help just to really activate those glute muscles around your bottom. That's 4, 5, 6, 4 more if you can. 7, so drive that dumbbell up to the ceiling as high as you can. 8, 2 more. Should be feeling that on the back of the legs and into your bottom. 9, last one. And 10. Good. Okay, stand back up. So you need both dumbbells now for the remaining deadlift. Feet to shoulder width wide. Start with the dumbbells in front and then sticking the bottom backwards as you lower. So keeping the back flat, go down as low as you can. Feel the stretch on the back of the legs and then bring the hips forwards back up to standing. So that's 1. Slowly down, feel the stretch. Return to standing. 2. 3. Breathing in. Breathing out. That's 4. 5. Again, we're going to aim for 10 reps. 6. Push that bottom right back. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. And 10. Good. Right. Have a quick rest. And then we'll go in and do a second superset of those 2 exercises. So when you're ready, lie yourself back down on the floor. 1 dumbbell resting on your hips. If you found the first one too easy, then obviously you can put both dumbbells on your hips if you want to. I'm just going to use 1. Okay, so once that's in the right position, think about pressing the lower back down into the floor before you start to lift the hips up. Ready? Off you go. Let's go for 8 reps. Squeeze up, lower back down. That's 1. 2. 3. So because these muscles are already partially fatigued from that first superset, it's 4. That's why we're only going to go for 8 reps on the second set. 5. 6. 2 more if you can. Lift the hips right up, squeeze. 1 more. Good. Right. Come back up to standing. Grab your other dumbbell if you didn't already have it. Feet shoulder width wide, dumbbells in front on the front of the thighs. And then from there, hip hinge, push that bottom right back. Keep the head and the chest up, feel the stretch on the back of the legs, and then return back to the start. So that's 1. Breathing in, and then breathe out. 2. 3, good. 4. 5. 3 more. 6, really steady on the way down, control it. 7, last one, slow, and then back up. 8, well done, brilliant. Right then, you can pop your weights to one side because you won't need them. You can move the mat out of the way if you need to. Okay, so that's your main strength exercise program finished. What we're going to do now is we're going to just do a cool down, just to run through a few stretches, just to stretch out those muscles that we've just worked. So we're going to start off with the chest stretch first. So find a bit of wall space. You're going to place the palm of your hand on the wall, keeping a slight bend in the elbow, and then essentially you're then going to turn your body away from that arm, and you should feel a stretch here across the side of the chest. So when you feel the stretch, just hold it there. We just hold the stretch for about 20 seconds or so. And you might get some muscle soreness the following day, which is quite normal, particularly if you're not used to doing some of these strength-based exercises. You will get some muscle soreness the following day. Okay, let's switch over. So palm of the hand on the wall, about the same height as your shoulder, slight bend in the elbow, and then turn the body away until you can feel the stretch across the chest. Good. Okay, next one we're going to do is a back stretch. So this time we're going to be facing the wall. You're going to place both hands on the wall a bit higher than your head height. And then from there, just walk your feet backwards a little bit and then start to let the chest drop down towards the floor. Focus on trying to keep your elbows straight. And if anything, if you can, think about bringing your elbows in, like you're trying to pull your elbows in towards the side of your head, but keeping the elbows relatively straight. And you should feel stretch around the sides of the back. So hold that there for a few seconds. Good. Okay, let's go on to quad stretch. So you might want to hold on to something for support for this one, but take hold of one foot, just pretty much around the ankle. Bring the knee in and pull the knee backwards while you stand up tall to get a stretch on the front of the thighs. Good, and then switch over, same on the other side. So this is just a nice way to relax the muscles after you've trained them. So it should be starting to feel better now. And release. Right, last stretch we're going to do is one for the back of the leg. If you just place one foot in front of the other, keep the front leg straight at the knee, and with the hands on the back knee, push your bottom backwards as you take the body down until you can feel stretch here on the back of the leg, and just hold that position for a few seconds. Good, and then switch the feet over and do the same on the other side. Good, and that's your strength workout complete. Well done. I hope you enjoyed this strength training program today, and if it's something you prefer over cardio-based exercise, then let me know in the comments. Please give this video a like by clicking the thumbs up button below, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. You can check out the description for a link to our playlist of workouts on this channel, but thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay active and keep moving to feel better.
Yeah.